think that guy's still alive, potentially. Is he? Oh yeah, he is! Oh god! Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of War Thunder with me, Spacefish. And welcome to a new tank that I want to show to you all today. Now, if you've followed my recent live streams, you will have seen me play this tank on the servers quite a bit now, and well, I've unlocked it in the American tech tree quite a while ago. This here is the XM803. It comes in at a battle rating of 9.0 and rank 6 of the American tech tree, and as you can see, it comes with a nice 152mm gun launcher combo, which means that you can shoot conventional tank shells with this thing as well as ATGMs, which is very, very nice and handy indeed. Other than that, you get some of the usual things like 8 smoke grenade launchers spread around the back here, which all do get fired at once if you hit that button. A 12.7mm M85 machine gun that is sat up here and very nicely independently movable from the main turret, as well as a 7.62mm coax gun. Turret rotation speed 25.3 degrees a second, not all too slow, but at that tier also not really the fastest thing in the world, so something to keep in mind right there. Vertical guidance, as usual with most MBTs, with most American MBTs at this tier, pretty darn good, minus 10 to plus 20 degrees, you should not really have much of an issue there, and well, a rather slow reload rate of 7.5 seconds right here, but you will have to keep in mind that my crew on this thing is far from spaded, so you could probably optimize that a bit more. Now, in terms of armor, this thing is actually quite interesting. The whole armor, for a start, is pretty atrocious. You get 89, 35, 25, and if you have a look at the X-ray right here, there is a little bit more spaced armor with a bit more RHA right there at the upper plate, and you know, a tad bit of spaced armor right here at the sides, but honestly, the hull itself is probably pretty poorly protected, and that stuff will not save you from much of anything. The turret, on the other hand side, being kind of interesting, you get 203mm of armor to the front right here, and you will see that this turret is also quite nicely sloped, so if people hit you in certain spots of the turret, as the tiers that you're playing at, you have a good chance of rounds actually not doing much of anything to you, which I do really enjoy. Now, you will have to keep in mind that while there is spaced armor in the turret, it is not sitting back here, so that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. But as you saw right there, you get like 250 mils of armor right here, so if the right types of bullets hit you, your turret armor may save you from dying. Now, on the sides then, you do have 165mm of armor as well, which is then nicely not contemplated, which is nicely being added onto by some more spaced armor right here, and a tad bit of spaced armor back here. But this, honestly, kind of being the biggest, well, the part of the vehicle you don't want to be hitting, because this here is your first stage ammo storage, and well, you have 26 pieces of ammo in there. If anything is going to hit that, well, except for maybe a machine gun caliber, you're probably going to go up in flames quite badly, so that is something that you want to keep in mind. And as to my knowledge, you do not have a blowout panel on this thing like you would on the XM1, so that is probably not going to save you unless that has never saved me before and I just don't know about it, in which case, of course, please feel free to leave that down below in the comments. Now, before we move on to the layout of the tank, though, looking a bit further down the line, armor penetration is here 380 all across the board, but that is because of the default shell that you get this tank with. If we have a look at the modifications, and you can just get an overview of which ones I do have already, you will be able to see that when you get the tank, you actually only get the choice of a heat shell or an ATGM, which is, I don't know, honestly, it was quite troublesome for me. Like, the heat I got a few kills with it, I'll have to say, but it is really, well, it's proving really hard for me to actually get kills with it, especially because it, of course, has a huge drop. It is a very slow bullet, and it's not the easiest thing to hit, and if you hit it, you know, Russian tanks at that tier do have some very decent heat and heat FS protection, so actually killing Russian tanks with it is a big issue, and well, certain other tanks you'll certainly find issues with that as well. So I usually used to bring very little of those heat shells and just kind of focus on this part here instead, which, as I said, is an ATGM. It's pretty nice, honestly. It's pretty nice even now that I have APDFS, or APFSDS rather, which, as you can see, is an actual thing on this tank. I do still bring 1 or 2 because it kind of helps you, know, in those certain situations where you can only kill people around a corner or only parts of their tank is sticking out and you're still trying to kill them somehow. In that case, it's kind of nice. Also helps down shooting down helicopters, and I've gotten the odd plane or 2 with it too. So it's certainly a very handy to have. Decent stats on it too. 431mm of pin at 0 degrees of an impact angle across the board, and well, the fall off on the specific angles is not all too bad either. And of course, this being an ATGM, you don't really have any bullet drop because you just steer it using your turret, which works quite well for me. It's traveling quite slow though, I would say, 323 meters a second, so that's just something to keep in mind. There's certainly a lot faster ATGMs out there, but nonetheless, a handy thing to have. Now, where this tank actually becomes strong though is when you do get the XM578E1, which is the APFSDS shell for this tank. As you can see, 346mm of max pin at the lowest range and 0 degrees off an angle on this thing. And while this is certainly by far not the best APFSDS shell you will ever have seen, for the pretty huge caliber and short gun that it is, I would say that the pen values are pretty decent. I've had little issues killing most things at the tier that this thing is sitting at, and it's certainly a huge blessing if you come from the heat shell. So definite recommendation to go for that as fast as possible. You probably do want at least your parts before then, and after that, it's probably more personal taste. I myself did end up going for APFSDS first, just because I felt the other combination was kind of a bit of a pain, and actually reloading an ATGM does take a lot longer than a standard bullet, as you can see down there, 12 seconds for an ATGM as opposed to the 7.5 seconds, I think it was usually. Yeah, so it does take a lot longer, something to keep in mind right there too. But what you want to go first, I think, is just a matter of taste and how well you really do with the heat and ATGM combination. But other than that, this thing is sitting at a crew of 3, which, as you can see, are all sat here in the turret. So that's actually kind of nice, given the turret armor. That is not the biggest issue in the world, and however, I'm pretty sure if somebody hits you on a wrong spot in the hull, they can very much kill crew members in that way too. The thing is, at 51.7 tons, rather heavy, but you also get 1140 HP, which you can still push a bit, as you can see right here. I don't have the engine yet, I don't have the transmission yet, so you can push that all the way up to probably like 1240 or 1250 horsepower, which honestly is quite decent. It is certainly not as high of a horsepower to ton ratio like the XM1, which I showed you guys a few episodes past, and you do certainly notice that it is not as maneuverable, but it is still very decently maneuverable. It has a nice traverse speed, and I would say that it goes across the battlefield at a decent pace. You've got a max speed of 64 kilometers an hour, which in RB you always expect that to be a good punch lower. Of course, I think like 30 to 40 kilometers an hour are rather realistic with this, but I found that to be all I need, so I am rather happy with that. In terms of the X-ray then, as I said already, all crews sat in the turret, which, given the turret armor, can help lose less crew, and the turret armor does save you every now and again if the turret is pointed the right way, of course. Other than that, optics, you can get night vision, just the standard green one though, no thermal imaging on this tank. I do not have it yet. I really dislike night battles where I only have green night vision anyway, so that's not the biggest issue in the world for me. And, well, then the ammo loadout, you can see right here, there is some second stage ammo storages down here in the front, at the back, and even, like, in a somewhat middle-ish position right here. I'm pretty sure that is also second stage ammo storage. The first stage, as I said, all being up here. 26 pieces you can fit into there, which in my opinion honestly is more than enough. I would not advise picking more than the 26 because this is kind of sitting in the furthest back from any enemy, hopefully at least, compartment, and in the best protected at least from the front compartment too. So in my opinion, don't go past those 26 bullets total. Try and keep those lower ammo compartments as empty as you can. And then, well, the bag, you just have your engine, transmission, fuel tank, and radiator somewhere as well, I'm pretty sure. But nothing really special out there other than that. The only thing to really keep in mind is that, honestly, the crew is quite closely stacked upon each other, so if somebody manages to pen right here and takes out 2 of your crew members, you're instantly dead, given that you only have 3 crew members, so that not being the greatest thing in the world, and most surely something to keep in mind. But with that all out of the way then, let's go to the battlefield, let's roll some clips, and let's see how well or bad this thing really performs. Alright everybody, hello and welcome to the first battle then here out with the XMATO 3. We have gotten Battle of El Alamein right here, and as you can see we've gone for the southern spawn here indeed. Kind of just trying to hope to flank around A bit, get some people from the side, potentially pop up where they don't really expect me to pop up. We'll see how that goes. And, well, good news is we've got a lot of teammates spawning with us that very round, so you won't be totally on our own, which is always a welcome thing down here, because usually there's like next to no people spawning down here, and you're basically more or less just left to yourself. So, with that said, we've got an XMATO 3 buddy here. Hello mate, how are you doing? And we are going to move along the left side of this map. As you can see, we're moving at a decent rate, nothing too crazy fast, nothing too crazy slow, I would say, and you can already also get, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's an unexpectedly early leopard right here. That is out of the way, but as you can see, you know, you can already get a feeling for like turret movement speed and all these other good things. Now that XMATO 3 is shooting something else, not sure where he got shot back from though, so we will hang back a bit and... Oh! Okay. And shoot back and totally miss the dude, which I don't like. Ooh, God, okay, we're good. Let's try that again. Critical hit, enemy kill assist. Beautiful. So that was one of the land cruisers just chilling up there shooting us, you know. Nice like profiling against every freaking building in the planet due to its size. And well, we nicely got him back there. I'm not too sure that was the one shooting the XMATO 3 though. I guess it was. I don't see anyone else down there at the moment. Alright everybody, hello and welcome to a little bit of a different map today, more of a city approach, and I'm still recording clips because for some reason it hasn't really been going that well for me the last few attempts with this tank, so unfortunately my War Thunder episode is now a bit delayed. Really I want to apologise to you guys for that, but let's try and hopefully be a bit more successful this very round. So we're gonna head into the city most likely here and go a bit towards B. I'm not quite sure about where I actually want to go in terms of positioning. I'm thinking Richies are welcome here. What? Weird. But I'm thinking we're probably gonna go off to the right a bit more here and not be too much in the center of that whole fight that's going to probably ensue in the middle. Now, We're gonna have to see, though. Can I see out there? Well, out there I won't be able to spot anyone, but I'm wondering if over here we can maybe hit some people a bit. Especially if we get rid of these fences in our way. If they do like to leave, there we go. It seems everybody's on that far street in the back there. That's a lot of tanks out there too. Just gonna try and hit them, but I don't think we're gonna be successful there because that's in a ditch. Beyond that cap at the moment, and even if they do go into the cap, we're probably not going to be able to hit them from there. So, oh, is that an enemy tank out there shooting my friendly, or is that my friendly shooting an enemy? What's that MG? Oh, MG stuff right there. We got the gunner. T-72 AV lower plate? Maybe not. ERA just save him? Hatch? There we go. Found the hatch in the smoke. Beautiful. That is the first kill. Absolutely awesome. We've got a tank to our left here, apparently, which I would very much like to take care of. Alright, and welcome back to another one on European Province, then. Quite the large map. I'm hoping that maybe we can get an early ATGM kill on this one for a change. So let's get that loaded and see how well that is going to be doing for us. Now, for a start, we're going to slightly move over to B here, and we're probably going to get on the Snipey Hill, and, well, if we manage to spot anything, thank you, if we manage to spot anything, we'll probably go and lob an ATGM out there and just see what happens, basically. So, let's try and not get sniped ourselves in the process, and see how it goes. So, I will have to very closely look at this, and probably also want to take some bushes as cover. But this about is where some people could end up showing up, I suppose, even further to the left flank too. I see one. Let's try. Got him! Beautiful! Absolutely beautiful! I love that ATGM kill right there. And, it just goes to show you the beauty of having a bit of versatility going through actually having an ATGM or two. That guy just died. Ah, damn it. The one guy just died, and then, well, the other... Oh, wow, that's very far. It's 2,400 meters, and... Oh, wait, did he not die? What? Oh, he was still alive! I redirected my ATGM because I thought he had died, but then he hadn't. But, well, anyways, one ATGM kill for us, and I think that goes to show you... I think that guy's still alive, potentially. Is he? Oh, yeah, he is! Oh, God! Where is he at? Is he dead? No, he isn't. There we go. Whew. God, good thing we had already laser range found that one. That was a spooky one. Not gonna lie, I was like, is he alive? And then I see the missile coming at me. So, luckily we got him on that one. And given that we're out of ATGMs, I think we're gonna head into the action a bit more. But that just goes to show you that, like, having a few of those ATGMs with you on maps like these, which are, like, super large, is actually pretty nice and helpful. And you can get some decent early kills with it. I would have gotten a second one there with the ATGM, but I thought that the guy I was aiming at had died, when in fact he didn't. I re-aimed at the other one, and, well, the missile just kind of went all over the place, and before it zeroed in, it had already impacted somewhere else. So, like, the ending was a bit unfortunate, but other than that, honestly, I was pretty darn happy with that ATGM performance right there. Got some nice kills out of it, got a BMP on top of that, absolutely beautiful. So, let's see if anything happens. Maybe we just end up capping A and winning this. Honestly, pretty close to it, so that may be what ends up happening. Oh, here's one. And our bullet went below him. Yeah, that's just something that you really got to get used to with this tank, is that the bullet drop for AP FSDS is so much higher than what you would be used to for AP FSDS. Like, I just can't get myself quite used to it yet, so I usually just range find with a laser range find, and then it somewhat works for me. But due to the short and kind of chunky barrel of this tank, it is really, really hard to estimate the bullet drop on AP FSDS, because it honestly feels more like a conventional APHE shell on like a higher tier tank, you know, like, I don't know, like a 6 or 7 BR tank with APHE. That's more what it feels like in terms of bullet drop. At the same time, it's kind of like in the back of your mind that it's APFSDS, so it's a bit messy sometimes. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. No, there's still 2 choppers up, apparently. One all the way back there, one up front here. So we're going to reload to an ATGM ASAP and try and mess them up. The one MI4 just got hit, though, so he may end up leaving momentarily. Let's try. What just happened? My missile just exploded in the middle of nowhere when he turned around. Weird. What? What in the world? Okay, that is weird. Now we're gonna die. Potentially. Eventually. Maybe. Okay, that was very, very weird. The Bradley just took care of the MI4 for us, I suppose. But, what range do these ATGMs actually have? Oh, they're 3 kilometers and the MI4 was at 3.5. So my missiles just exploded before they even made it to him. Which is, a good thing to actually know about, because I had no idea that was going to be the case. So something for you guys to watch out for there, I suppose. Feel like I may have been hearing myself there. Now the thing is, in theory there could be people from both sides here, which I don't like. We're going to go push through the middle here. And just try and get ourselves further to the back of sea. I hear someone. Yeah. Crits. Didn't kill him though, which is a bit of an issue. He is probably very much looking our way. Maybe not. Maybe not. And there we go. That's the first kill for us. Absolutely beautiful there. Did hear the leopard coming in and wrecked him from the side. But the ridgeline is definitely in general being used. I don't see any choppers coming in though. Need to ATGM out of the way. So we're going to go and move around the corner here a bit more. Seems like the enemy team has got absolutely no one sitting on this flank. Like, there's people from my team that are already basically pushed to the far flank of the enemy spawn, which is quite crazy this early into the game, I'll have to say. Now, what did you just shoot at, buddy? I don't see it. I've got the street kind of in my sights, which is not... Oh. Which is nice, because people push across there or just stand there and get shot in the side by me. Absolutely beautiful. That's one knockdown. And we are just going to move further to the right. There's also enemy planes up, I think, which is a bit iffy, but we'll have to live with it. And I think there's theoretically, supposedly, a tank up ahead here. Slightly to the left, actually, so he can't see me from here. We'll look around this corner. Slightly missed somebody, but that ended up dying anyways, I think. Ow! I'm dead. I'm not. My driver's dead and my engine is dead. I don't think I'm going to survive another shot. Nope. Alright, so everyone, we're going to go and push through the middle this time around. Instead, first time did not work out very well for me, unfortunately. We've got a backup, luckily, which we will try and use. There's people exploding left and right of me already, which is really not the most confidence-inspiring thing in the world. And there's somebody around that corner already, too, which is insane. How are you nearly pushed up all the way into your spawn this early? God, okay, well he is out of the way for a start, which is nice. Now there's more people around the corner right here, which are not going to be able to shoot us if we push across to here. But I'm going to be able to shoot that guy if I push across to there. Or not, because the spot wasn't quite on point. He's there. Come on, reload. What is that? Oh, it's a Russian thingy. Need to hit the hatch. Come on, hit the hatch. There we go. Right in the hatch. T-72 AV out of the way. Beautiful. And I hope my team is doing well on the left side here. There seems to be more people pushing around out there, though, so I think somebody's going to take care of that. And while my team's busy with all the other stuff, I guess that somebody's going to have to be me. So we're going to go around here instead. We're going to try and stop that push on our right flank if we can. Hopefully without getting shot in the back here. We'll see how that's going to go. Crits, driver, engine, transmission, radiator, fuel tank. I hope he can't hit me. Looks like he can't. Okay. We're going to go through there. And, well, we got him before we died. So, that's a push on the flank. Stopped, luckily. Instead, but we got 2 targets for that. I think that is pretty fine. I'm going to continue helping out the team, though. And I'll probably see you all back in the main menu then. Alright then, so welcome back to the main menu for a quick little summary on the XM803. Now, I really spent a lot of time on this tank, and unfortunately I didn't really get all the good clips that I wanted for you guys. Not like the crazy kill sprees that I go on sometimes, but I think on average it has really been a decent representation of what this tank is, what you can do with it, and what are kind of the ins and outs with it. I hope that I showcase that the ATGM can sometimes actually be very useful and a good thing to have, and I would certainly recommend you take a few of those. I very much like that this tank has that feature. I hope I've also showcased a decent mobility, that you do have some survivability with that turret. And while we haven't really managed to bounce that many shells, if you do get yourself into a nice hold down position, you can certainly hold your ground for quite a while. Overall, I would say this tank is not really crazy good at anything. It is also not crazy bad at anything. It's more of a jack of all trades. It can do everything rather well, I would say. Nothing exceptionally crazy good and nothing exceptionally crazy bad. So, in my opinion, a very decent all-rounder, one that you should probably try and actually play and not skip and have some fun with. I certainly did enjoy it a lot, and I am going to continue enjoying it, and well, I hope you guys like it as much as I do. If you do, let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on this very tank. I would very much love to hear them, but with that said, I'm going to end it off right here then. So, as usual, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does help out a ton with the performance of the video, and if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way, as usual, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.